that leave their traces in the brain.
Well,
And that's really what you're doing, is I think confronting that question. And
that's right.
that's what we need people in medicine to do as well. But you're right, I
Yeah.
think it is a clash of worldviews.
Absolutely.
And it is properly framed in the context of a constitutional liberty argument, because they are forcing a non-metaphysical belief
Worldview,
onto
yeah.
people who have
Right.
a metaphysical
Right.
worldview. And that is complicated, because obviously the Constitution is aimed at preventing theocratic state.
Well, isn't it a question of separation of church and state?
Or, right, exactly. That, I think
It
that's
really
correct.
is that,
It is separation.
isn't
That's-
it? I mean,
But in reality, that does not exist. And in
That's right.
reality, you are allowed your own First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, and it shall not quash religion thereof.
sure.
You won't establish it, but you
Oh,
won't.
Just speak in here.
This man here wants the,
That's
this man here?
It's my hot topic, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, sir, yes.
I think the question that's raised to get away from that kind of an issue is free will. I
Yes.
think that people have that it should be unconstitutional to force any kind of treatment on anyone.
Yes.
Okay? I don't believe any drugs should be outlawed any more than alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, not even socially, but I don't say that we should go back and have a second prohibition, because I know that it's unhealthy, it's harmful to you in the long run, and it takes away your clarity and happiness of just being in the short run. Because and people who need to do that, I don't go, saying all of that, and therefore that we should outlaw it, because I don't want anyone to be allowed to take away their clarity in the moment. Let them come to grips with how to, without alcohol. I don't do that. I don't believe it should be illegal.
I
I don't
think
think anything should be illegal.
No.
But no one should be forced to say, this is your treatment,
Right. Absolutely.
and this is your illness, you are this,
Right.
and you can't do this, and you must take this, and you must be put into this place.
Right. I think
So
you get to define
I think from the
yourself.
level of free will,
Yes.
that's what you got there. No matter which religion you
Of course.
subscribe to, there's free will.
Yes.
And
Well, not really, because secular humanism believes in determinism, so actually, they don't believe in free will either.
I didn't know there was
I really
such a
want to get
religion.
down to it, you know.
But
they
generally
believe
that
everything-
works.
Yes, no, but I mean, you're right. You know, I'm just saying, we should be free to do what we want. We don't want this forced on us. Just as people are taking their kids out of schools to homeschool them because they don't want this stuff thrown on them at school, we have the right to say no, I think. So yes. Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much.
I think we can wait
For
until
coming.
people start
Oh,
opening the
okay.
doors to see.
Or what do you, 5:30, is it time? Yes, ma'am.
I believe, well, I don't think all secularists would agree with all this psychiatric nonsense. Well, I don't think that all secularists would agree with all this psychiatric nonsense, and some
Oh.
Christians, it seems, have been fooled by it, though.
Well, I mean, if people are really thinking deeply about what they believe, they kind of do believe it, because they believe they're just a collection of chemicals. So, well, if you're secular and you don't believe in God, then what's wrong with taking drugs? I don't know what the argument is, but
Yeah,
I don't know how to refute it without some kind of other worldview.
Yeah, but people are influenced by their
Except
life
that they're bad for you.
experiences, and
Yeah.
it's not just a bunch of chemical things, and some of it is even politically determined, too, with the labeling of some
that's
people
true.
in the
Yeah.
Soviet Union as being mentally ill.
Oh, yes, I've been reading about that lately. Yeah, psych hospitals, yeah. So, I mean, I really intended this for people, like a tool, for people who have this worldview, they could go out there and say this. Now, people who have different worldviews are going to have someone else come up with something for them, but this is how it works for me, so that's all I can say. You might be able to be the one to come up with a good argument, well, other than just damage to the brain. That's a good argument, too. That's not so great, but yes. Oh, wait. Yeah, I got to get the mic there.
In the state of Florida,
Yeah.
Governor Bush had something called the faith-based initiative, where they're offering federal funding.
Okay. Faith?
It makes for boring video.
Yeah. Okay, now.
In Florida, then Governor Bush, with his brother, of course, had pushed the faith-based initiative
Yeah.
to allot federal and state funding to faith-based organizations to provide quote-unquote treatment services for both
Really?
mental health
Okay.
and for substance abuse. I know substance abuse was a little more lax because that's an area where you could have paraprofessionals
Yeah.
work in. But I'm just wondering if that has, if you've heard anything on that, if that's,
Well,
Still-
again, I'm saying that, you know, the biggest organization of Christian counselors, there's like 55,000 of us, they're all for the meds. So I don't really know what's going on here. I mean, this is just starting, I mean, I think it's just starting to become evident that we've got something here. So I think that this is like the first step to start waking Christians up, if you want to say it that way, Jews, Muslims, whoever. And even people with other worldviews, it's fine. Maybe Hindus have the same thing. I don't know. You know, that's not my forte. But, you know, we have to think about it. We have to use whatever we have because it's such a steamroller over everybody. We've got to think of ways to fight this. And I don't think this is a bad one. I mean, it really seems logical to me that we could use some kind of legal movement here. Go ahead.
Elizabeth, I just want to say I appreciate what you had to say today.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make one comment. A friend of mine who is actively involved in the Christian counseling organization, I believe it's
Probably
the same one.
yeah.
The same one, mentioned to me a few years ago that when she was sitting around a table, a conference table, at some meeting of
Yeah.
these counselors, biblical counselors, 75% of the people sitting around the table were taking psychotropic medication.
Okay, there you go. There you go. I mean,
Sickening.
it's scary. I think this is like the beginning of something right here. It's the beginning of waking people up, I hope. Thank you so much. I guess, are we finished? Yes, thank you. Oh, and here's the brochures if anybody wants them.